그리 다운돼 있어? 뭐가 문제야 say something. 분위기가 겁나 싸해. 요샌 이런 게 유행인가? 왜들 그리 재미없어? 아 그건 나도 마찬가지. Tell me what I got to do. 급한 대로 블루투스 켜. 아무 노래나 일단 틀어. 아무거나 신나는 걸로 아무렇게나 춤춰. 아무렇지 않아 보이게 아무 생각하기 싫어. 아무개로 살래 잠시. I'm sick and tired of my everyday. Keep it up 한 곡도 아무 노래나 일단 틀어. 아무렴 어때 있어 boring. 아무래도 리프레시가 시급한 듯해 쌓여가 스트레스가 배꼽 빠질 만큼만 폭소하고 싶은 날이야. What I'm like this. 어디야 널 올 때 병맥주랑 까까맣게 싸워. 좁은 공비가 잘 안 당겨. 우리 집 거실로 빨랑 모여. 왜 보이는 요령껏 차단시켜. 밤새 수다 떨 시간도 모자라. 누군 힘들어 죽겠고 누군 축제 괜히 싱숭생숭. I want my use back. 좀 전까지 벅자지 걸 하다 한 명 두 명씩 자리를 떠. 왜들 그리 다운돼 있어? 뭐가 문제야 say something. 분위기가 겁나 싸해. 요샌 이런 게 유행인가? 왜들 그리 재미없어? 아 그건 나도 마찬가지. Tell me what I got to do. 급한 대로 블루투스 켜. 아무 노래나 일단 틀어. 아무거나 신나는 걸로 아무렇게나 춤춰. 아무렇지 않아 보이게 아무 생각하기 싫어. 아무개로 살래 잠시. I'm sick and tired of my everyday. Keep it up 한 곡 더. 떠나질 못할 바엔 창밖은 쳐다도 안 봐. 회가닥해서 주태를 부려도 No worries at all. 이미지 왜 챙겨 그래봤자 우리끼린데. 늦기 전에 막판 스포트. 있을 때가 얼마 안 남았어. 편한 옷으로 갈아입어. You look nice, get on my. 얼핏 보면 그냥 코미디. 이렇게 무해한 파티 처음이지. 만감이 교차하는 새벽 2시경. 술잔과 감정이 소용돌이쳐. 왜들 그리 다운돼 있어? 뭐가 문제야 say something. 분위기가 겁나 싸해. 요샌 이런 게 유행인가? 왜들 그리 재미없어? 아 그건 나도 마찬가지. Tell me what I got to do. 급한 대로 블루투스 켜. 아무 노래나 일단 틀어. 아무거나 신나는 걸로 아무렇게나 춤춰. 아무렇지 않아 보이게 아무 생각하기 싫어. 아무개로 살래 잠시. I'm sick and tired of my everyday. Keep it up 한 곡 더. 아무 노래나 일단. 들어봐. 아무 노래 아무 노래 아무 노래나 들어봐. 아무 노래 아무 노래 아무 노래나 들어봐. 아무 노래 아무 노래 아무 노래나 KLZ. 왜들 그리 다운돼 있어? 뭐가 문제야 say something. 분위기가 겁나 싸해. 요샌 이런 게 유행인가? 왜들 그리 재미없어? 아 그건 나도 마찬가지. Tell me what I got to do. 급한 대로 블루투스 켜. 아무 노래나 일단 틀어. 아무거나 신나는 걸로 아무렇게나 춤춰. 아무렇지 않아 보이게 아무 생각하기 싫어. 아무개로 살래 잠시. I'm sick and tired of my everyday. Keep it up 한 곡 더. 아무 노래나 일단 틀어. 아무렴 어때 있어 boring. 아무래도 리프레시가 시급한 듯해 쌓여가 스트레스가 배꼽 빠질 만큼만 폭소하고 싶은 날이야. What I'm like this. 어디야 널 올 때 병맥주랑 까까맣게 싸워. 좁은 공비가 잘 안 당겨. 우리 집 거실로 빨랑 모여. 왜 보이는 요령껏 차단시켜. 밤새 수다 떨 시간도 모자라. 누군 힘들어 죽겠고 누군 축제 괜히 싱숭생숭. I want my use back. 좀 전까지 벅자지 걸 하다 한 명 두 명씩 자리를 떠. 왜들 그리 다운돼 있어? 뭐가 문제야 say something 분위기가 겁나 싸해 요샌 이런 게 유행인가 왜들 그리 재미없어 아 그건 나도 마찬가지 Tell me what I got to do 급한 대로 블루투스 켜 아무 노래나 일단 drop 아무거나 신나는 걸로 아무렇게나 춤춰 아무렇지 않아 보이게 아무 생각하기 싫어 아무개로 살래 잠시 I'm sick and tired of my everyday Keep it up 한 곡 더 떠나질 못할 바엔 창밖은 쳐다도 안 봐 회가닥해서 주태를 부려도 No worries at all 이미지 왜 챙겨 그래봤자 우리끼린데 늦기 전에 my passport 있을 때가 얼마 안 남았어 편한 옷으로 갈아입어 You look nice get on my 얼핏 보면 그냥 코미디 이렇게 무해한 파티 처음이지 만감이 교차하는 새벽 2시경 술잔과 감정이 소용돌이쳐 왜들 그리 다운돼 있어 뭐가 문제야 say something 분위기가 겁나 싸해 요샌 이런 게 유행인가 왜들 그리 재미없어 아 그건 나도 마찬가지 Tell me what I got to do 급한 대로 블루투스 켜 아무 노래나 일단 drop 아무거나 신나는 걸로 아무렇게나 춤춰 아무렇지 않아 보이게 아무 생각하기 싫어 아무개로 살래 잠시 I'm sick and tired of my everyday Keep it up 한 곡 더 아무 노래나 일단 들어봐 아무 노래 나 들어봐 아무 노래 나 들어봐 아무 노래 나 KLZ 왜들 그리 다운돼 있어 뭐가 문제야 say something 분위기가 겁나 싸
Hello, and welcome to the stream. My name is HoneyedSatin. I'm a non-binary streamer, and my pronouns are they and them. Welcome. We are playing Coral Island. Now, I know I've kind of been obsessed with this game, and I've been playing it a lot lately, though those of you on YouTube, I haven't been able to multi-stream lately, so you guys haven't seen too much. But I will be posting the footage later, so you guys will be a part of it later. I have a Mochi in here today, so he is interesting. I don't know if he's going to be good or bad. I guess we'll see how it goes. But, yeah. I am going to cover up my power button, because he's got sticky paws. A storm's coming tomorrow. That's not great, actually. Okay. No mail. Oh. And we only have, like, 3 more days before summer is over. Our first summer, because we're actually going to play through this and finish this. Who wants to hang out in the window? You can hang out in the window. I do not care. Okay. We got some of that. Delicious okra. Delicious. I do got that. Mayonnaise. And I'll keep pretty much everything else. Okay, starfruit jam. I'm selling that. I feel like I should be selling my artisan stuff. So, like, this, for example, or these, I feel like I should sell. Well, I should turn into jam, I mean, and then sell. I don't know, tomatoes are hard to come by, so it's hard to, like, really make a decision, but I'll do that for now. And we'll see about the rest. Now, I do gotta water some of my stuff, and I gotta check on my babies. Also, I need to check how long it's gonna take for the barn. I think it's gonna take like 2-3 days. I don't think it'll be done like tomorrow, but we'll find out. Also, I need to double check what I need to upgrade stuff again. I feel like I need more bronze stuff. Hi, Mochi. Gonna hang out and hopefully not knock stuff over. That's me being hopeful. It's under construction. Doesn't tell me how long, so is what it is. Yeah, we got 3 more days at these bad boys. Nope, didn't mean to do that. Your nose itches. Ah, okay. There we go. Hopefully I'll map out where I'm gonna put stuff a little bit better. I'm gonna make more, gosh, what are they called? Sprinklers. So hopefully I can map out stuff better. Okay, let's do that. I'm gonna put that in there actually. Take out 4 of these. Hi, I didn't mean 5. Y'all coming out or what? Because I'm gonna sell this. Nope, nope, nope. Duck mayonnaise, hi. You happy to be in the sun? Oh, I bet you are. Who is that? Count Duckula. Oh, 2 hearts. Taking such good care of you. Oh my gosh, look at my babies. Okay, Hennessy looking just fine. A little out of it, but it's still here. I think the next duck I'm gonna get is like Psyduck instead of Side Chick. Because Psyduck would be cute. And hen grid. You guys are doing great. Alright, let me go get eggs. Alright. Somebody didn't eat. Pardon. Mochi, stop messing with stuff. Okay, right, put this okra away. Gonna sell this duck mayonnaise. 200 each, that's gonna be good. Put this away. Seed, some of that. Okay. I have no water. Jeez. Oh, hold on 1 second, guys. I have to get Mochi because he's doing bad stuff again. What are you doing? Mochi. Okay. Get over here. Guilty. You know I have to barricade the door just to keep him out. Because he can open doors. I have to barricade the door. It's crazy. Anyway. What did I want to do? Right, I want to upgrade one of my weapons. But I think it costs like 2 grand. Need to look that up. I'm not sure. Mostly because I'm too lazy to go there. Hold on. Let's see. Coral Island. Upgrade tools. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. All tool upgrades. Let's see what we need. If you don't let me on the website, I'm gonna freaking riot. I hate this. It's like, oh, sorry, these ads are blocked, so I can't. Okay. What did I want to upgrade? Maybe my scythe? I need 5 silver bars. Ooh, I ain't got that. Maybe I'll just do my watering can, because I have enough for that. That could be good. Let's do that. And do I even have any silver bars right now? I feel like no. I'm gonna say no. Doesn't really look like it. So I should probably make some, but I also don't have glass right now, so... Can I make glass? I don't think so. At least not yet. Dehydrator. Yes, I can make that. I'll do it. Bite the bullet. Do it now. No, I cannot make glass, which sucks. I can make you. I'd rather get more of the cool looking ones though. 50 for a wooden chest. Hold up to 40 though. Pretty good. And I can make another one of these. I'm gonna need the sprinklers, dude. I will put down this dehydrator right here. I gotta reorganize everything. Gotta figure out where to put it. Because I don't know right now. But anyway, let's go to the woodlands. You guys can't hear that, can you? No, you can. Okay. Because it looks like you can't hear anything on my end, so I'm like paranoid. Hey, Pablo. Process. Oh, got a pink crystal. That's actually useful. Oh, wait, I needed 20 wood to upgrade, don't I? Shoot. It's the thing I needed. Let's go back, go grab the wood. I should probably do the blessing too. What we got today? Any blessing? No. Dang. I get it. No blessing for me. I get it. It's like, life sucks for you, doesn't it? No blessing. You didn't earn it. I don't have any wood right now. Doesn't look like I have any wood right now, which kind of sucks. I do have glass. I don't know why I put it in there, but I do have glass. I can do one. Do that real quick. Get that over with. Put that away. Oops. Put that away. Put these away. Put this in here. Right, so I need to get wood. I don't need all my tools though. Yeah. So I'm gonna go down in the water. I only need this to chop down some trees right now. Let's do it. I chop so quick now, but I need to chop quicker. Not chopping quick enough. I actually want to go in the mines today, because I haven't been in the mines in a bit. But I also should check what I should do for, like, a hangout or anything. Oh wait, I should go to the beach shack, shouldn't I? For Waku, right? I love that I could just favorite people. So is he a favorite now? So if I go to that, he is! Oh my gosh. Okay, where the heck is Macy and stuff? Because I want to, like, favorite all the people that, like, I really am interested in. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know who I want to be with, I'll be honest. Noah's interesting. Millie's very sweet, so maybe. Lily. It's hard to choose. It's hard to choose. These are, like, the ones I've been mainly going for. Not really Noah, actually. Unfavored Noah. No offense, Noah. But you haven't really been on my list. He has, but he hasn't. Raphael. Yeah. These are the ones that I've mainly been going for, as you can tell. Except for Lily. Lily, I barely see her, so it's kind of hard to give her stuff. Okay, so where's your event? Okay, I can go to the beach shack right now. So let's go finish that. Okay, and I have enough wood, so... yeah, let's hurry up and do this to get it over with. Hey, Raphael. Wish I had a flower to give you. Or food. If I can make food, this would be so much easier. Okay. No, sorry. Upgrade tools. I don't have any bronze bars, that's right. That's what I need. And I don't have any. That's okay. Let's go to the beach shack. Nina. Let's do it. Hello there, Satin, Suki. Shame you're just walking by now. You could have eaten with us. Maybe next time. Alice and I were in a bit of a hurry. We have something in the oven for a guest tonight. How's the food here, guys? Good as usual, but not enough options. We can never have enough fish on the menu. That's what I say. I don't disagree, but the quality of the catch hasn't been good lately. And the fish has gotten so expensive. We just don't have the supply we used to. Bah! In my time, there were plenty of fish to go around. The ocean were bursting with them, but these days, you're as likely to haul up an old shoe as a sardine. Maybe you caught all the good ones, Dad. Nah, that's rubbish. Today's fishermen just don't want to put in the work, that's all. Maybe if you followed in my footsteps and taken over the family business, Suki and Jim here wouldn't be hurting for options. Reminded me of my niece, Minato. Good girl, that one. Taking over my brother's sugarcane factory, a smart girl. The factory's bigger now since she took over. Impressive. She must work a lot with farmers like Satin here. Minato's a lot like you and your sister, actually. Oh, hey! What's going on, Eric? Oh, dang it. My chat went away for YouTube. Gotta put that back up. There we go. You're a good kid. Taking over the end for your parents, not running off to stargaze like this one here. Damn. Dad, what the fuck? Everything is working fine. It still turns off, not gonna lie. It does randomly turn off still, but after a long while, I've been streaming. Alright, I think I'll go back to the inn. Enjoy your meals. So yesterday it turned off after like 4.5 hours of streaming. So it does turn off, not as quickly though, so I gotta figure that out. I do more than stargaze, Dad. I'm proud of those girls, the twins. Carrying on the family business, providing a needed service to the people of Scarlet Town. Oh, you're irritating them. Can we go? Alright, alright. You did that. Don't act like everything was chill 2 seconds ago. You were tripping. I'll see you around, kid. Okay. Awkward. Anyways. Hi, Waku. It's not my field to comment on, but it should be pretty obvious those black roots are doing damage around here. Ling and Surya probably know more about this stuff. I was hoping to spend some time with you. Free to hang out? Anytime. Cool, I'm ready. Alright. Falling in love. Next to the monkeys. Sharing secrets. Ah, we're both so ripped. Hell yeah. Oh, we're splashing. We're falling in love. I'm getting bored of my hair color again. I think it's time for a change. What color are you thinking this time? That's the tough part. I don't know yet. I like the idea of constantly shifting. Never staying the same for too long. It's something I've been doing for a while now, changing my hair color with the seasons. You change it every season? That's cool. Yeah, it's become a bit of a tradition for me. I should do that. That sounds fun. I'm gonna sneeze. Started with a little fun experiment during my studies. I dress pretty simply most of the time, so I figured playing around with my hair would be fun. Besides, it's just hair, right? If it doesn't turn out great, it'll grow back soon enough. I know, right? I love that perspective. Life's too short to worry about a bad hair day. Might as well experiment a little while I can. Exactly! I guess the downside to all this experimenting is that sometimes I have to take a break. My hair gets too coarse. But hey, nothing that deep conditioning can't fix. Which you should be doing that regardless. Now, can you guess what my natural hair color is? Oh, it's black. Yep, you got it! My natural hair color is black. It's because of your dad. I gotta guess based on his hair. But here's the thing. I only keep my hair black for something special. I always thought I'd leave it natural for my wedding day. Your wedding day, you say? I want to be seen as me on that day. No colors, just who I really am. Well, I mean, with the colors, it's still you. It's just a fun you. You know, if that's who you are through and through, that's who you are through and through. That's fine. Wake up planning. Well, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. He planning. I had a good time. Catch up again soon? Absolutely. You get it and know Waku better. I always go for Waku, because he's my type. So, but I'm gonna try my best to, like, be fair and go for multiple people. Because I want to see everybody else's personality, too, and see if I like them. Hey, Mark. Saw that duck with the little helmet on my way here. Name's Fun Bucket. I would die for Fun Bucket. I wonder if he likes that helmet, and that's why he wears it so much. Oh, wait. The thing is in here, isn't it? Yup. Let me go get my little, hoe. Get my hoe. Dirty hoe! I'm sorry, baby. I love you. Right there. And also, I might as well dehydrate something. What do I want to dehydrate? Let's go with okra. Because fried okra is good, right? So dehydrated okra should be good. Theoretically. Oh. What do I put in here? Do I not put food? Oysters and scallops. Oh. Well, I don't have those, so I gotta wait till I get in the ocean. Let's just sell most of this stuff except for the wood, because I do need that. Looks like I do have to go back in the ocean. No, no. I was in the ocean a lot yesterday. No. As much as I love being in the ocean, I need to not be in the ocean today. Alright. Is it money? Give me money! What is it? Oh, it's a torn page. Let's read it. I miss spending time with my brother. He's always cooped up inside these days. Maybe I'll drag him out next time with a surprise errand. Ooh, we read Pablo's diary. Okay. But don't force him out, though. If you don't want to go out, don't force him. Because then he's not going to have a good time, you know? We want him to have a good time. Here we go. Also, do I have anything for it? Yes. Make a lot of snacks. Holy shit. Alright, let's go. I wanted to hang out at least with one person or do one romantic, the word? Quest, I guess? Alright. Let's go in. 25. Let's do this. I like how I always look around like I've never been in the mine before. I'm like, holy shit, this is the mine. I don't have my sword. No wonder he's looking around, because he knows he has nothing to defend himself with. It's okay, me. We got this, Satin. It's alright. We'll figure it out. Let's go back to the farm. You know what? I thought about that too before I left. I was like, I better make sure I have my sword, and I did not do that. Well, not sword. It's a hammer. Where the hell did I put it? Is it over here? Yeah. You know what? Leave that. I don't need the net. Really, I need it if I'm like underwater. Because I hardly see. I don't think I've seen any bugs to catch with my net in the mine. Which I feel like there would be a lot of bugs, especially underneath a rock and shit, you know? But, you know, is what it is. Let's go. Okay, now let's look around. Like we ain't got no sense. Hey, what's up? Don't worry, I'm back. You're in my way. Ooh, I got a flower underneath a rock. I'm gonna sneeze. At least I did take my allergy med today. Took it super late, but I took it. He bit me. This bitch. Can I have that? I'll take that. Alright. Thank you for the resubscribe! Oh my gosh. I gotta fix that because it says new subscriber and you are resubscribing, so I do have to fix that. But thank you. Still got turtles falling from the sky on pillows. So yeah, I gotta fix that. But thank you. Oh my gosh. You know, it's tough out here. It's rough out here. And I literally have been working every single day. I think today is the only day I didn't work. I'm not kidding. I've been working nonstop like every single day. Today I didn't work because I had a horrible stomachache. And I had to call out like 4 hours before work, which is not good. Don't do that. That's really bad. And it looks poorly on you. But it was so bad that like I knew I would not be able to do my job because I would not leave the restroom. You know, sometimes I'd be like that though. Not all the time, but some of the time. Ooh, I got a fossil and it's yellow. Usually I have the red ones. It's a different fossil. I am definitely... Oh. Let me not. I was gonna say I'm not making it to the next floor, but it said watch your mouth. Watch what you say. Just gonna focus on these guys. Get me some ore. I caught a shrimp. Not a sexy shrimp though. Do I have to donate that shrimp? Let me check. Yes. Yes, I do. Yeah, you go ahead and move out the way. Who are you biting? You know, I've never had an issue with the enemies down here to the point where I thought I was gonna die. At least not yet. It's probably gonna happen now that I've talked about it, but... And thank you for the biddies! Oh my gosh. Out here feeding turtles. Don't know why my bits thing isn't working either. But I need to double check all of my, things, so... Baby kitten! The one constant. Thank you for always being here, baby kitten. I do value you and appreciate you. Even if you stop by for 2 seconds, I appreciate it. Got a mystery geode. It's a mystery because I don't know what's in it. And apparently I'm not skilled enough to open it up and find out. So fast with it now. Look at me. Look at me. Charging through. Oh, but it's about to be midnight. Okay, let's just go. Let's go. Hi, you're kind of in my way. You see how he's not attacking me? You're too nice, baby king. You're too freaking nice. I'm gonna take this flower and this watercress. I gotta pick up as much as I can because summer's almost over. No, go back to the farm. Go back to the farm, I say. Go back. Oh god, I had ore in here. Hold on, I know. Alright. Okay, whew. Somewhat made it. Oh my gosh. And what's... Oh yeah, it's gonna be a storm, right? Yep. And let me check the detective show. Try to be as normal as possible. Normal clothes, normal job. I already stand out enough with my hair and eyes. Your hair? Hair is wild. No need to make it worse. Mochi! Mochi! Unfortunately for me, I have a gift I can't ignore. I always search for the truth. Excuse me, ma'am. I heard you're looking for a Mochi. Yeah, it's my cute little doggy. I think someone took her. Last time I saw her, she was napping in here. Interesting. Gotcha. She's here, ma'am. Oh, Miss Sato, I was about to call you, but the telemarketer called me and wouldn't let me hang out. Mochi just wandered in here. I think she smelled the ribs I was cooking. Oh, thank God. Mochi, how did you get in here? I can answer that. Mochi left through the open back door of your house. Then she snuck through this loose fence and walked all the way here. There's a loose fence? I need to get that fixed immediately. You naughty puppy. Don't ever do that again. Thank you so much, young man. Let me make you a cup of tea, thanks. Oh, no need, ma'am. Seeing Mochi safe is all the reward I need. Case closed. Back to normal life for me. Okay, so he's got eyes and hair that makes him stand out, and he has like a weird crystal that gives him powers to see where things are. It's creepy. It's weird. I need to know more. Okay, starfruit jam. Selling well. The corn is selling well. Foraging, not so much. Okay, but the duck mayonnaise. Ooh. And the pink crystal. Is out. Alright. 3 more days. I know it's a storm outside, but we gotta check the cooking channel. Welcome to the cooking channel, where we take your everyday meals to the next level. I'm gonna sneeze. Man, one day you taught us how to make pancakes. What do you mean? It's breakfast. We're gonna learn how to make spring frittata. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. It's a great way to start the day and get some veggies in your diet. Chop some watercress, toss it in your ceramic bowl, and then add your choice of veggie. Now, you can use absolutely any vegetable in your pantry. But my favorite is eggplant. Let's bake it while you're getting ready. There you go. You got yourself a healthy breakfast meal. Can you smell it? I would if I had it. She didn't talk nothing about no egg. There's an egg in it. Okay, it's sunny. I know it's a frittata, but still, she should mention the egg. Goodness for the beach cleanup. Alright, I gotcha, Mare. I gotcha. Alright, let's put these away. Ooh, look at all the stuff we're getting on the 3rd to last day. That's crazy. I don't like that it's a storm. Not a big fan of storms. They're not my favorite. Did I water all those plants? I feel like I didn't, but I guess I did. Okay. My nose itches! Oh my gosh! If you don't let me harvest you, I swear. There we go. Let me harvest you. No. There we go. Gotta replace their stuff. I think only 3, because one of them is, like, already eaten, I guess. So, a lot of times there's one left over, it looks like. Oh, never mind. Everybody laying eggs, that's what I'm talking about. Alright, show love. Look at my babies. Okay, everybody's happy. I'm not letting you guys out because it's a storm, so absolutely the fuck not. But I do need to make some more mayonnaise. Boop, boop. Oh no, don't do that. I'm gonna sell this. Oh wait. Have anything else? That's golden, so no. Kinda sucks. Yeah, that's golden, dude. Damn it. Put that away. Watch, I feel like I'm gonna need all this stuff later. Also, I should reorganize some of this. So, like, this is tough meat. I need more of that. Okay, I need some more wooden chests, though. Tomato jam! Come on and slam. And welcome to the jam. Bam and bam. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need more wood, I think, because can I? Actually, I should have enough wood. Wait, what are you? Okay. Good to know. I do have enough for 1 chest. Oh my goodness. Ah! I'm actually gonna put this here. What should I put in you? I feel like seeds only. Put seeds in here. All kinds of seeds. Any other seeds in here? Doesn't need to be the exact same type. Also, I should see if I need to get this to the goddess, because I don't know. Nope. So I guess I'll sell that. Okay, here's a seed. Maybe I'll just put farming as the name, and I'll put like farming tools and stuff in there, along with seeds. And I got some potatoes. There we go. This too. Yeah, I'm gonna name it farming. Oh, oh, oh. Farming. So then we know. So I'm gonna put my tools in here. It's a thundering, it's a lightninging. Okay, seeds. I'll put stuff that's already grown down here. Because of fruit, I have a special thing for that, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, I have some stones. Got some, oops, coal. Compost. I need compost in here. Oh, sprinklers. That does need to go in there. I think that's it. Because, yeah, that's it. This seems like farming stuff, but honestly, I can move all this. Okay, so compost I'll take out. Trash, I gotta figure out where to put that. but I could make this like the ore and mining chest, you know? Mining. So put that there. I don't know if this wouldn't count as mining though. I should put stones and stuff in here though. Yeah, I gotta figure out where to put all this stuff, because this would go into mining. This would go into mining. This would go into farming. Just trying to organize, guys. Don't mind me too much. Yeah, this would go into farming. Let's put this in the farming. Okay. The rocks and the ore. Or the other one. Farming. I put flowers in here, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Farming. Can go in here. I'm gonna put all my farming-esque tools in here. Need that. Sorry, really trying to decide what I want to put in here. Yeah. This is like diving. Oh, wait. Put this away. I don't know where I want to put things, sorry. Trash. Put the trash together. Go back to mining. Okay. Actually, put this over here. Because I can put this under here. I don't have any silver bars, but that's where that will go. And I need one specifically for fighting, I guess. So I'll do fighting chest. Fighting. And we can put the bug meat, slime goop, curse thingy, monster essence. Well, actually, I don't need the monster essence because I already gave that to the goddess, I think. Right? Yes. She doesn't want this, though. I need that for crafting. This I need to offer. Okay, yeah. All that fighting. So, I'll put this under here. I need one for diving, though. I do. Because this one is fruit and veggies. Oh, wait. I should put the veggie in there. Sorry, deciding. It's tough out here for me, okay? This is mining. We'll make this diving, specifically. So, diving. There we go. Okay. So, diving, sea salt. Put this under here. Oh, wrong one. There we go. And I guess that's it. Yeah, I guess that's it. Gotta put this up here. That makes sense. That does make sense. So let's put the net in here. What do we need? Because we're going diving, so we'll grab this. Actually, we do need the net right now. This I'm gonna donate. This I need to eat. This donation. This I'm gonna get rid of, and this I'm gonna get rid of. Okay. Alright. Now everything is right with the world. Boom, boom. Okay. Better not strike me down, I swear. Oh wait, I should check my blessing. Anything, please. Nope. No blessings like 3 times in a row. That kind of sucks. Okay, let's go to the museum. 3 days in a row of no blessing is crazy to me. Okay, donate. Perfect. Oh, I gotta put away my watering can. Why'd I bring that? Also, I wanted to upgrade my scythe, but I'll do my watering can. I might as well. I have that. I just need 20 wood. Oh no, farming is right here. Oh, perfect. I have 22. That works out. Let's put this back. Can't forget the actual bronze. Because I will forget it. Okay, let's go to Woodlands, and then we're gonna go straight to the diving pier. Oh! What's up? Who do I have a cutscene with over here? Hey! Is this a thing for Paul? Oh wait, is this a new cutscene for Paul? Are they arguing? Paul, I held on to hope, really did. Thought maybe you'd remember by morning, but here we are past noon. You forgot my birthday. How could you? Oh, poodles! I didn't mean... I just forgot. Oh no. Oh, you just forgot. That's your excuse. We've been married for so long. Am I not special to you anymore, Paul? Oh. No, it's not that at all. You're my world. I slipped up. I'm truly sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this, Paul. Words are cheap. You're absolutely right, Anne. I messed up, and I'll fix this. I promise. Okay, what you gonna do, Paul? What you gonna do? He comes to me. Son, I need cake. Stat. I'm like, bro. I am not your fixer. I am not your marriage fixer, bro. Okay, let's process. Okay, topaz. Alright, did I already donate that? Probably not. Nope. Of course not. Because why would I? Anyway, upgrade. Thank you. Well, since we're here, might as well go to the lab and figure out what's inside of my fossil. Well, we had our cutscene for the day, so there we go. Ooh, develop equipment. Auto seed, auto for. Ooh, that's so nice. What is it? Ooh, it's a clock. Well, I gotta go to the freaking museum anyway. 2 things to give. I wonder how much money it's gonna cost to upgrade my bag again. Oh, why'd I go to my farm? Well, it's fine. I can drop off this. One last thing on me. Museum. I was like, where am I going? That is literally my ADHD. But I did take my ADHD med today. Be proud of me. Be proud of me. Okay. This. And this. What is collection reward? Because I don't... Okay, right. It's all this. Okay. Let's go diving. It's the water I can see. Let's go diving, so mysterious to me. Let's go diving. It's the water I can see. It's so mysterious to me. Yeah. Yep, that's me. Okay, let's check the map. There are 2 over here, and we don't know the rest over here. We can only go up here from where we are, so... Grab this. Best loot hides in secret spots, of course. That's how it's always been. I am going to slice and dice some of this stuff, though. Because I've been ignoring, like, the extra spots, but I do need to clear out the ocean completely. I do. Trash is very useful, so we might as well grab it. Rare trash. Should I process this right now? I mean, I could. That way I'll be set up for later. Okay, how about if I get like a couple more coffers? I'll do it. Because they're open till 5, so. Wait, are you a sexy shrimp? Are you sexy? No. I was hoping you'd be sexy. Sorry guys, the shrimp is not sexy, but if you use my shrimps, those are pretty sexy. You can always use those commands. So, speaking of, let me make sure, sorry guys, every single time I do this, I feel bad. Every time. Oh my god, that's so annoying. Sorry. I just need to make sure I have my turtle facts up for you guys. Because I wrote down a bunch of turtle facts that I just have in my brain. But also, I have the worst memory. I have a memory of a goldfish. So, I tend to forget anything and everything. You name it, I've forgotten it. So, if you don't go away. Not now. And switch it. That should be it. Yep, okay. Now I'm set up with my turtle facts. Just need to make sure I have those in case you guys ask for turtle facts, because I have a bunch. I like to be ready. Anyway, that, and bring up my YouTube chat. Wait, how many coffers do I have now? Okay, I only have 2. That's not bad. But if I get one more. If I get one more. What is this? Okay, belly and oyster. I don't need that one just yet. I will, but not yet. Okay. Let's do this. Look at those. Yeah, no. Trash to treasure, scrap makes it happen. I suppose. Let's clear this out. Let's go up these. Come on, you better creep along. So gross. My nose itches. Ah! Okay. Ugh. I hate that it's moving. I hate it. Oh god. What is that? What's trapped in there? Is that like a seal or something? What is that? Also, I wonder why the merfolk didn't try to, like, get rid of the trash. You know, they live here. Not that I'm saying it's their responsibility, because they didn't cause the trash, but at the same time, they have appendages like me. I feel like they could have been working to get rid of it and just put it right back on our beaches, which honestly, I'd be like, fair game. I'm surprised they didn't do that, but maybe they've been trying and it just goes straight back in the ocean. I don't know. Or maybe there are just too many people on the beach at one time, so they can never find a time that they wouldn't be seen, you know? Because that guy did say, like, oh, we're already breaking rules, like being here and being seen, or something like that. I know, I'm working on it, I'm working on it. Let's eat a couple of these. Let's work on it. Okay. So gross. Clear up that nasty oil. Yes, get rid of it. Dissipate it. I love it. Also, is this little thing released now? Nope. Gotta figure out how to set you free. There's another one up there, so we'll work on that one. Get the big groups. Get another couple of these. Ugh, the oil spillage is so nasty. Disgusting. At least there's lots of silver kelp here. So much silver kelp. Oh, and now it's too late to go. I was gonna say, okay, now I can go back up, but it's 5 now. It's too late. I know. I'm working on it. Secret places and all that. Lots and lots of coppers. I got so many. Utis. Are you a sexy shrimp? Are you sexy? No. You know, I'm hurting that shrimp's confidence every single time. He's like, what do you mean I'm not sexy? My wife says I'm sexy. She wouldn't lie to me, right? Right? Candy Tricid. 37 in game. Oh my goodness. It's not even 7 in real life. Another rare find. I just know it's gonna go for this immediately, so I need to get rid of it. Gonna go straight there. I just know it. In my heart of hearts. Might go for this one. All by its lonesome. Where you going? Where you going? Where you going? See, it would have hit it. It would have. Oh my goodness. Don't let it fool you. No. Of course, the area I didn't get a chance to get to. Of course. Why would it go anywhere else? Honestly, it's my fault, because I should just be keeping the ocean clean. That's my fault. Who do I think I am, honestly? I'm supposed to be clearing it out. You know what's so interesting, though? Because diving... Oh, hi. Typically, you're diving for, like, items. A wakame. Okay. Thank you. What is this? Alright. I'll ignore it. Can I talk to you? Nope. He looks so funny. I can eat one more. It's about to be 10. It's gonna be like, we're gonna leave soon. It's getting dark. Yeah, no. Don't toss trash, convert it into scrap. I know. Here. Also, I should probably save. Constantly scared that it's going to crash on me. So I should be saving often. Look at this. They literally have farming life going on over here. Wonder what they're growing. Because you'd think they wouldn't have to. Well, unless they don't want to just be eating their little sea friends. It makes sense if you think about that. Okay, I got that one too. Awesome. Emma gets home so late. I wonder where she always at. Let's go home. Damn. Cicada's loud as fuck tonight. Shipped. Ooh, I'm not gonna sell that. To sell our wares, our goods. Alright, let's head inside. I think it's sunny tomorrow, right? Yep. Go to sleep. Yay, it went up. Well over 1,000, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. The banana jam, the tomato jam, the kiracha sauce, the okra. Ooh, you're getting there. I love it. Alright, beach cleanup today. Like, I haven't been cleaning up like every freaking day, but whatever. It's fine. They don't know that yet. Okay, so it's a beach cleanup, so I should be, theoretically, able to still get my stuff. I didn't read that. Need a green tea. Okay. I don't have one, but cool. I know where to get one. Please give me 1 or 2 bronze. On. Harvest. I'm gonna put the fruit in here too, I guess. I mean the flour. More duck mayonnaise. Do I have egg mayonnaise too? I do. Might as well grab that. Come on out. I don't know how many they need. I'm just gonna go in. They're ratting around that. Fabulous. Thank you for the eggs. So happy to be outside. This I need to make, because I have a lot of blueberries now, so I need to make blueberry jam. Oh, I should sell this one. The okra can stay, I guess. Oh. Sell the duck mayonnaise and the regular. Mining, wait. Diving. Not wood. Even though I think I did get wood, but whatever. Scrap. This. Not that. I guess this is also mining, so whatever. Okay. of trash in there. Actually, don't do that. Let's take out 60. I think they all take it. Take 20. Oh. Okay, I thought I... Alright. I don't know how many they need. Never mind. Okay. So it's 40 for 20, I think. Okay, compost. That goes here. Okay. And this. Put that there. Let's go pick up my watering can. Wait. How watered is everything? Most things are okay. Yeah. Do I have a skill point? I feel like no. No. What relationship went up, though? Have an event with Zara. Right, I have to go to the cavern. Which actually I could do that right now. And I gotta go to fish and chips at night. Let's get our blessing. Come on. Nothing. Dang, 4 days. No blessing. That's crazy. Hi, Raphael. The majority of the trash here drifted in the sea. Can you imagine?